So what? Is that the best scene ever? I believe so.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Yes, people, welcome, one and all, to the Jim Rat Pack Does Entertainment and our special segment of the week of going way back in time to review older classic films with my pal,
Token white guy, Damien.
and my other pal,
Talking light skin guy. Mr. L Rock.
and with me, Larry Obamiroll.
Talking dark skin guy.
Yeah, the talking dark skin guy, yeah, man.
We're covering your all bases.
All bases.
Whatever shade you are, we're one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. We're obviously, like we said, we're here to give you our take on everything entertainment, being actors ourselves and gym rats. So,
And martial artists.
yes. We said we were going to, for our supporters in Indonesia, do a review of The Raid 2, and now we're going to deliver. See? We love y'all. So what me and Damien are going to do first is go through some facts about The Raid 2. This was the first time Leon watching it, so then he's going to give his perspective on what he saw and how he compares it to the first one, which he rated a 10 out of 10, remember?
I rated it a 10 out of 10.
Right? And then we will go through the film synopsis and characters and performances and whatnot. So, The Raid is a 2014 Indonesian action martial arts film, written, directed and edited by Gareth Evans. You've heard us talk about Gareth Evans, Welsh director. It's a sequel to, obviously, the 2011 film The Raid, which we reviewed last time. And it stars your boy, Iko Uwais. And also, it stars Arifin Putra, who plays Uko. Oka Antara, who plays Eka, who I really liked, by the way. And who else? I think that's all I put. There's too many names to mention.
How you forgetting Sesep?
So you want to mention any other names?
Sesep Afraf.
And who did he play?
The Assassin. Doesn't need a name. Is The Assassin? Cool as a cucumber.
It's true. Smiling Assassin, they should have called him. You know what I mean? But, you know, so the budget was a lot more than the first one. If you remember, the first one had a budget of $1 million, and this one had a budget of 4.5 million, so substantially a lot more. For some reason, they only mention the box office, but excluding Indonesia and Japan. So accordingly, the box office was 6.6 million, which in the grand scheme of things wasn't great considering the budget, but again, it's excluding Indonesia and Japan's take. So I don't know why it excludes that, but anyway. So let me just run through some facts here before my friend Damien does his. Gareth Evans cast Yayan Ruhian in The Raid 2 as Prakoso, even though he played Mad Dog and died in the first one. As he said, he would never do a martial art film without him. That's quite big. Yeah. Like, imagine, do you know what I mean? Because you'd think he'd say that, and he probably does think that of Iko.
Yep.
But yeah, but he's a big boy as well. Like, I mean, if you remember him from the Raid 1 and now the Raid 2, in fact, there's a scene in there with him that I really want to go into with you guys. But yeah, so that's an interesting fact. Another fact is that Yayan helped choreograph the fight scenes with Iko Uwais, and he trained Julie Estelle, who plays Hammergirl, in Pencat Silat, which was the Indonesian martial art that they all display in the film. And he trained her for 6 months. She did not know any martial arts before she started with him.
Yeah.
So she trained for 6 months and then got into the film, which, she did really do well because her movement, everything was fantastic. Another fact is The Raid 2 was banned in neighboring Malaysia because of its excessive violence. I don't think any of us are surprised with that.
No.
I mean,
Many years ago, it would have been banned here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
All day.
Easy.
100%.
They would have banned the life out of it.
100%.
Yeah.
100. And remember, because we were talking just before you saw it, and I was saying to you, remember the prison scene and all of that?
Graphic.
Graphic. So the US cut is very similar to original cut. I think there's only a couple of seconds here and there. But the Japanese cut has a full 4 minutes cut. Due to the violence.
Oh.
So I don't know which bits are cut, but 4 minutes is quite a lot from the action scenes.
Yeah.
You know.
Depending on what they cut. To be fair.
Yeah. Gareth Evans was planning a third film, but he decided against it when he moved back to the UK because he lived in Indonesia for a few years, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when he moved back to the UK, he felt like it was kind of like the close of the franchise. Probably wasn't, you know,
the vibe.
Yeah.
It's gone now. Yeah. I'm back in.
I would still love to see a third film.
Yeah.
I would still love
to do it.
I'd love to see a third film more than I want to see a Hollywood remake anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The epic kitchen fight scene that we're gonna go into, that took 10 days to film. Like, imagine an 8-hour day, 10 of them.
And that, how long is it? 7 minutes or something?
7 minutes.
Just shy of 7 minutes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
10 days for 7 minutes. Just shows you what went into it.
Yeah.
And that's highly skilled.
Yeah. But I bet you there was injuries there as well. You know what I mean? Of course. I mean, it's
and they
given.
never cheated the shots.
That's
why. That's why it took so long.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
So the film takes place 2 hours after the first film ended, and you can see that when they in the beginning of the film when they open up the trucks and they see all the dead policemen.
Man's mashed up.
Exactly. and they, you know, they have the hostage that they had from the first one.
Yeah.
So when they shot the fight scenes, another fact, when they shot the fight scenes, shooting would have to halt mid-scene for about 20-30 minutes each time. So the makeup artists can create damage on their faces, etc., for continuity purposes. Because they're getting hit so much.
It's not Hollywood.
On the camera, do you know what I mean?
Where people get hit with an iron bar and they're still, you know, all right. And the head's not bust.
And I know that's what we all, but especially you watching it for the first time, The Raid, and then now The Raid 2, really appreciate the realism, isn't
authenticity.
It? Right. And going on from that, all the kicks, this would come as no surprise to me and Damien, because obviously being martial artists and versed in stage combat, we know that this is what takes place. But it might be news to you. All the kicks and punches to the body were real.
Yes.
They had to control their speed and strength though in their strikes.
Yeah.
So obviously that it looked real.
Yeah.
Because
I heard they had to learn to hit for real on camera.
Yeah, because you're used to if you're used to just hitting someone, it's a skill that you have to like we've had to learn through stage combat.
Yeah, right.
So like for instance, if you're punching someone in stage combat, you have to open your fist and you have to learn how to enough to get that impact sound.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
they get the movement but without.
Yeah. So it's a skill in itself, you know what I mean?
It's not Rocky.
Yeah, so that's why not all fighters can actually deliver on screen.
Okay.
Because they have to learn how to control themselves, you know? Okay. Do you have some more interesting facts for us, Mr. Ashley?
I'm trying to think of the ones I remember. When I first saw this, I was a geek and went home and watched the making of it like a million times.
Yeah.
The first thing for me is, you guys probably seen this, the action scene where Echo is driving in the car, which is a monumental car scene has ever been filmed. As far as I'm concerned, is better than...
Which scene was that?
The car chase scene.
The car chase scene.
The car chase scene.
Best ever car chase scene I have
when Iko was in the car.
Yeah.
I
think it's better than the French Connection. I think Ronin with De Niro.
And that's brilliant.
Yeah.
100%.
But there's a moment where the camera comes from outside, goes through the car, past like a dinner back out. In the making of it, you see the DOP. He's dressed up as the car seat, and he sits forward, and you don't see him.
Yeah.
So he sat there, and it's like the flaps down. It looks like a car seat. All of a sudden, the camera comes in. It's like he sits forward, grabs the camera, passes it around. It freaked the hell out. I was like, he was the car seat the entire time.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I didn't know that.
That's how you got the whole one take. Because obviously, like if you look at films like Children of Men, they did in the car scene, and to do that, there was a whole rig where they took the roof off the car, and they had an actual rotor camera going around in and out and back out the car.
Yeah,
right.
With this, it was like literally old school.
Old school. Let's make it work.
The stunt guy.
Yeah,
and that's just ridiculous.
Crazy, crazy,
brilliant.
Obviously, when you guys meet Picasso for the first time, there's a big homage back to his character because he sat next to a dog in the street eating food. So there is like a nice kind of like, look, this is who he is, but he's not the same character.
Yeah.
Also for this, the choreography in the kitchen scene, that was originally done for the Raid 1. And the reason why Yayan is back in this one is because he was supposed to be Sesep's part. So originally, because the Raid 1 was made as a way of getting the Raid 2 made, when this was its own independent film, Yayan was fighting in that fight scene. So there's actually a video on YouTube of them going for the choreography, like before they did the Raid 2.
Yeah.
What else is there? Oh yeah, the shot from the prison, most of that fight sequence is one take. So Gareth is literally moving through the prison.
That fight scene is crazy.
Don't worry, we're gonna get there. Okay, carry on.
What else?
Well, I got one. So Iko trained with all the other fighters for the film for 6 months.
Yep.
So that they had to meet every day and build that mutual trust before shooting fight scenes. So that when one of them missed, they wouldn't want to punch back harder. I think that meant if one of them does get hit by someone, they wouldn't want to punch back harder.
You would get upset and in your feelings about
which
it.
I've heard Tony Jaa does in his fight scenes.
You've only got to watch the making on that. He mashes up stuntmen.
I heard Steven Seagal does that.
I've heard that as well.
But I remember Michael Jai saying he didn't do it to me.
You know why? Because Michael Jai would
would've
mash him up.
Yeah, I
That
heard
wouldn't even be
Steven
funny.
Seagal's a bit vindictive like that.
I actually heard there's a judo guy, Gene something, that put him to sleep.
Oh, Gene Bello.
You know the one.
Yeah, he's the guy that was in the Green Hornet.
Put who to sleep?
It's the guy.
Apparently.
Okay.
But I believe it. I believe it.
Nice.
I mean, he's an accomplished guy himself.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's Gene Bello. He's a guy with the gingerish hair.
Yeah.
Anyone, I'm happy for anyone to put Seagal to sleep. Anyone.
You got any more?
Oh yeah, so when Uko comes out of the, I remember this one because it's a weird one for me. When he comes out of the karaoke bar, and he's wearing a shirt, the sleeves are rolled up, it's open. They added a cold refrigerator unit or a smoke effect on purpose to give the idea that Bejo is like the devil, and it's like whenever he calls him, the temperature drops in the room. That's why Bejo's character is always in red, because it's the idea that he's a devil. And there's that moment where he steps out on the phone call, he's on the phone call to Bejo, and as he breathes, smoke just comes out of his mouth, like cold air comes out. Because it's the idea that whenever he's around, the temperature just drops in the room. Because you notice this is a lot more of an artistic film than the first one. Like this is a lot cleaner looking, even though it's very, very gory and grungy in certain bits. Like the Raid one's very grungy. This one is very clean the whole way through, even though it's gory as hell and it's got a lot of explicit stuff in it. It is a lot more of a clean looking film.
I've got one actually. I did. This is really interesting actually. According to, well, it makes sense to me being a fighter, but according to an Iko Uwais interview with Variety, one of the key differences for him between fighting on and off camera is that he can't show any weakness while battling in the ring, but on camera he must convey his physical reaction to the punches, kicks and blows, which goes back to what we were talking about with the realness of it. But obviously in the ring, you can't show any of that. If a man hurts you, you've got to be poker faced, because if a man knows he's hurt you in the ring, he's coming for you. Yeah,
he's all over you.
You know what I mean? So that's quite interesting. But yeah, there's quite a lot of facts that we can't really go into because we'll be here all day.
We'll be here all night.
So I'm going to leave it to our friend Damien to give us a brief synopsis of the film and what happens, and then we're going to go into... No. Sorry. We'll give the floor to Mr. Rock. Please tell us what you thought.
I'm dying to find that. I haven't asked that. So I'm dying to find that.
Okay.
Tell us.
All right, well, to start with, you lot really talked it up, which is always worrying because I'm setting my expectations.
Yeah.
I love the raid, so I thought this is gonna be great.
But you have to say we talked up the raid and you loved it. So
shush.
Okay.
This is me talking. Yeah. And yes, you talked it up, and I loved it. I loved it. So didn't know what to expect. Didn't realize that it happened straight after. So it was a straight continuity, like a couple hours, and it was still broken up. So first of all, it was a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
The film was a lot longer.
About 2.5 hours.
There was a lot more characters involved.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple more than there needed to be. However, I felt like it was paced well. There's a lot more dialogue. I realised there's a lot more dialogue, but that didn't take away anything. Because sometimes it can. And it didn't take away anything. So the tension was still there. The suspense, everything building up. The stakes were high. It was there. Like Damien said, it was cleaner. You could see everything, and I could just, I really got sucked in. And then, obviously seeing Mad Dog was a bit, I did think to myself, the only thing was, did he really have to be there? I can see they just brought him in because he was part of it. Was he a necessity? Not really, but it's always nice to see him. Because I loved him in the first one. And if we did a film and you was dead, chances are I bring you back. One of those. Someone's hooked up their friend. So
like I said, he said he would never do a martial art film without him.
Well,
so,
there you go. So I'm glad he was there because then it was made. It was a bit. I felt like a little bit touch of Departed was in there. I just got that vibe. Because he's infiltrating. Like Departed meets Godfather, kind of. But it was just a wild ride. So then I saw that famous kitchen scene that he was talking about.
Yeah, tell me.
And you know what makes it even better is the camera work. Like the way this isn't one of your chop, make it quick. Like you can see he doesn't think about what am I gonna take in edit. He knows what he's going for
before.
So he's aiming for that shot. Then he's aiming for that shot. It's not just taken, chop. Oh yeah, we'll have that bit, swing the camera. So the way you could follow the fight, and they sold it to me like being tired and the punches, and like it was just real. So it's not always incredibly fast, but it's real because we don't fight that fast for 7 minutes. So,
and the fights do get messy.
And the fights do get messy.
Yeah, even when you've got two skilled guys. I mean, you see it in the UFC all the time, innit?
Yeah. Get a bloody nose. This ain't Sylvester Stallone gone into combat, beaten up by 10 men, and, just got a cut on his eye. This, I like the way they just keep it, the camera work for me is amazing. I think he's second to none. I don't know if anyone's shot a better scene. Like for instance, you got man like Jackie Chan that likes, like the wide shots and uses, and I think Gareth takes a little bit of that.
He does.
Because he's not up in your face with the move, so we're just looking at hands.
But I think he wants us to realise that these guys are doing the move.
Yes.
As opposed to Hollywood fights. Where it's all chop.
Yeah.
You don't need the stunt doubles in there, so you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can see, this is why I feel like the fight scenes in this movie, and a lot of martial art movies, but specifically the Raid 2, are so engaging. You can't stop watching.
No.
It's funny because up until then, okay, maybe I had seen a couple of long fight scenes, but I'd never think about a 7-minute fight scene, right? And by the time you get to about 5 minutes, you kind of like,
I'm over it now. Someone win.
There is not, and even watching this film again yesterday, there's not one point. In fact, when the scene ended, I remember even when I was in the cinema with you, we were like, I wish this fight continued.
Yeah,
this fight could have gone on a day. I would have watched it
because
I'd have been
I
glued
do
to
get
it.
bored. I do get bored if it's not done right.
Right.
But this
But
one,
you
he was in it. He was in it.
Because and I think, like you said, it was because of the way it was shot. Like the wide, you know, everyone's doing the actual moves because they're skilled people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I give it up to these guys, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, like.
And
Carry
then,
on, carry on.
yeah, and then obviously the car chase.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a car chase in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know to start with. I didn't know. I thought it was martial arts all the way through. I didn't realize they was gonna do one of the best car chase scenes. And I love a car chase. Like I like the little Matt Damons and the Bournes, and I love all that. Because that's actually shot really well. Really well. That's top tier Hollywood. But this blew it out the water. It blew it out the water.
And to think that they only had a budget, because it's still small.
That's a
relatively.
tiny budget.
That's 4.5 is tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, when
and look what they...
independent films are made.
And in 2014, it's still tiny.
That's tiny. That's tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look what they managed to come out with. That's why when you hear about these inflated budgets for certain films, you're like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why is Scorsese's film, The Irishman, costing 200 mil? It's like, why? Even the studios couldn't find why. That's why he never got it. You know what I mean? But please continue, bro.
Yeah.
I love hearing your...
Bro!
You know what I mean?
So, Iko didn't fail to deliver.
Always.
He had the stakes in his face all the time.
Yeah.
I was always with him. You become him.
Yeah.
In this film, even in the first one, but more in this one, you had time. They really expanded.
Yeah.
So that they really
there's more of a story.
They fleshed it out properly. So everything was everything.
Yeah.
It needed the 2.5 hours to even for the characters to resonate with you and everything be clear. But it didn't feel like filler.
Nah, not at all.
It didn't feel like they were just taking up time.
100%. And I feel like, because with the gangsters, it was very easy to like the first raid, for instance, to have the bad guy to just be hated and generic bad guy hated, you know. But with this one, there's nuances, because they're bad guys, but the dad of Uko, for instance, you can see he has some honourable traits. Do you know what I mean? You can see the Japanese mafia guy has some honourable traits. Do you know what I mean? And
they're
so
following on a legacy.
Right.
It's not just I'm bad. I'm following on a legacy. My father, my uncle.
There's a
I
code.
was born here.
Yeah, there's a code.
This is my religion.
You know what I mean?
They're almost like the clean vampires in Blade, like the ones that sit around the table. They're the ones that have got into politics now and they're trying to keep a clean
and
look.
they want to keep the rules. Yeah. Whereas Uko just wants to do his own fucking thing, and he doesn't care how he gets there. And then obviously they got the other guy, Bejo, who is like the newcomer, and he wants to get his by any means necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
So it's something I'm gonna have to watch it again.
100%.
Because I watched it, but I know I missed loads.
Yeah.
Because it was all too much to take in. It's something you have to watch 2, 3, 4 times.
Well, bro,
to really understand it.
That's why you're in good hands with me and him, because I think between us we've seen it about a couple thousand times.
Yeah.
I've seen it more than 10 times. Definitely more than 10 times.
Yeah. So
that's me.
Well,
in a nutshell.
Well, I'm glad you've watched it.
Yay! Boom scare.
Yeah. So no, I'm glad. And so, with that all being said, do you want to now revise your score?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's gonna raid 1's gonna have to go to an 8 out of 10.
Not a 9?
Not a 9.
Wow.
Ooh.
The reason it's going, because it's a great film, but this is at least 2 points better than it.
Right.
Raid 2 is at least 2 points, and that's no reflection on that. There's no reflection on the Raid 1. It's just this one was so great that has to. It's got to be in. What's the word I'm looking for? But it just I don't even know the word. Them kind of excitement, but it makes it relevant to the other one. Because I wouldn't be doing the justice just to saying it's 1 point better.
I hear you.
1 point better. So on a 1 point whatever million budget, you delivered, and even on that minuscule budget, 6.6, which is nothing.
No, 4.5. That was what it's.
4.5. So you think after paying everyone,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm sure people didn't get a lot of money for the work that they've put in.
No.
They never got money. They never got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson money.
Hell no.
Can you imagine
Well,
if
that
he
was-
was going to go and train for 6 months? He's not doing it.
That budget is not even what he would get as a salary.
No.
I don't even think that's a half of what he
See
gets
that
as a
there?
salary.
That's cameo money.
Yeah.
That's cameo money for The Rock.
That's the shot for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why it gets 8. This one 10.
yeah.
One of the best the gore factor and
geez.
believability.
That's
That's the key.
and,
Because we've seen
and we're gonna go
stabbings.
into it. But that, remember I said to you before you watched it,
Yeah.
prison scene.
Yeah.
And because I always shout kitchen scene, but that prison scene,
Yeah. Brutal.
it was.
The moment he stabs a guy in the back of the car and drags it up his car.
Oh my god!
That's-
And do you know what I love about it as well? Do you notice one thing I noticed? There was no kicking because they're all slipping. There was no kicking
No
in the
time
scene.
to
There's
kick.
like one which is Uko. He does it to basically get away from it. Then he falls
Right,
into the mud.
right. Then he falls into the mud, but he was on dry ground before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's realism because you can see they're all slipping. Even Iko,
The bit
he
where
was
he's trying to
slipping.
get to him at the end. Like,
Yeah.
build-up to it,
And
it's
then
like he's
before he gets
stumbling
knocked
across.
out.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like
The breaking of
so
the leg and-
realistic.
Yeah. The leg. The
oof.
breaking of the leg.
That was horrible.
You know, usually you hear they show the leg crunch. You see the face,
Yeah.
but you don't, bro. Bro, I saw his leg break.
Yeah, and they even the prison scene, they did exactly what you said about the Raid 1, where he's a reluctant hero.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there and he's
Doesn't
thinking,
wanna get up.
He doesn't. He's thinking, I
No.
don't want to have to do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see he just contemplates.
Yeah, but it wasn't in an egotistical way.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to have to fight for my life again. I know I can die.
Yeah.
I'm not pretending
Yeah.
I'm invincible,
Yeah.
but I don't want to have to fight for my life again.
And again, like you
And
said,
you can
he's
see
not
it.
invincible because
No.
they all get on top of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
He looks up in the next scene, his face is...
it's mash up
It's
as well. So
mangled.
I love it. I love that. It's no Mary Sue. This is real. How a real situation will
Yeah.
occur.
Yeah.
But so yeah, okay, Damien, please give us a brief synopsis of the film, and then we will go into characters and who played them and performances and whatnot.
Okay, so as Leon says, obviously this takes place literally 2 hours after the fallout of the raid. So Rama's brother walks off in one direction, Rama walks off in the other, and they literally get picked up with the officer's basically his ear removed, and Rama's brother gets picked up by Beja. They go 2 different ways. Rama ends up going off into a very derelict place where he's basically told that he now has to be given the choice of either pretend to be dead or become an informant or go undercover to basically catch what is the bigger part of the pie, which is all of the Japanese mafia and the Indonesian mafia, but more so the actual police that are involved in it, which is the main focus. We then shoot forward and Rama ends up being told he's going to have to go to prison to basically look after and befriend Uko, who's basically the son of the main kind of head of the mafia, if you like, in Indonesia. And he's told it's only a few months. He ends up being in there for 5 years. During that time, his son is born. He's losing all that quality family time. He gets out and he has to stay in role and now become a bodyguard for Uko as Uko starts to basically climb his way into the family syndicate. We then move forward as all that war starts to happen when this character called Bejo comes in, who kills Rama's brother at the beginning of the movie. And he wants to take over Indonesia and become the new crime boss. As that happens, Rama is then pulled in the middle as he's basically trying to stay infiltrated, but then also rat out the police officers while surviving, and whilst also at a certain point getting revenge for his brother, which I think is a narrative thread that's there.
Yeah, especially in the end.
Yeah, especially in the end. And then we move right through to the finale of the film, which is Uko doing what he does best, and he is literally fighting for his life as he tries to bring down what is left of this mafia after Uko kills his father, starts to work for Bejo, and goes down a complete path of ruin, really, because he is the antithesis of what is the spoiled child to a degree, even though we could argue that his whole character trait is he wants to basically prove to his father that he can be what his father is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pretty
And
much.
that's the catalyst for everything.
Yeah.
Him trying to prove
to his dad.
is the whole
Yeah.
is the whole MO, the whole motive for this whole film.
The whole thing.
You
There's
know?
a little side tangent that you forgot to touch on, which is the secret undercover policeman, Eka.
Yeah. So there's Eka, who basically is there the day that Iko comes out of prison. He also basically sees Iko in prison and helps sell the story that he's a nobody by saying he's done a background check and he's clean. Clearly Eka knows who this guy is. But it's revealed right towards the end of the film, before Rama, the last third act of the film, before Rama basically takes on the whole crime boss, that actually he's been involved the entire time as an undercover officer, and he never gave up his position, even though his officers would say that he has. And there's a beautiful moment actually when the moment he passes away, it's like he's left where the first film started off. He's in this grungy, derelict, run-down complex. It's almost like shadows what the first film had. Because the rest of the film was all opened up and it's very like there's nice buildings, apartments and whatnot. He returns back and it's like a war zone. And that's where he dies. You kind of feel sorry for him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you guys know, Yayan turns up again as a new character, Picasso, in this movie, who ends up being the reason why he's basically used as a pawn to start off the war between
the Japanese and the Indonesians, which didn't exactly go according to plan, did it?
No.
There's actually a scene in there that I want to touch on that I think a lot of us will relate to as men. But yeah. Actually, I might as well touch on it now because you finished your synopsis, right?
Yes.
So, do you remember the scene in the cafe when? Yes.
His ex-wife.
Yeah. I thought, as a character, what a hypocrite. You want to talk about, and rightly so, that he assassinates people for a living and it's a disgusting thing and blah, blah, blah. Rightly so. But then you're willing to take the man's money? Really? And we see that a lot in life, don't we? We see that so much, and that's what I'm saying. As men, we can see that. And
I hate you, but how much have you got?
Right. Do you know what I mean? She was so ready to take that envelope.
And there's even the bit where she's like, where he walks off, like, as always, when you leave, it's like, oh, now you're upset that he's gone? Hold on a second, you didn't even want to be here a second ago.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, make up your mind. Either you think what he's doing is evil, and therefore everything he's got as a consequence of that is evil, or you're cool with it. You can't have it both ways.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sympathetic to what he does for a living, but I'm very sympathetic to the fact that he loves his kid and he wants to see his kid. As men, we can relate to that. Do you know what I mean? As fathers as well, we can relate to that. So I just thought that was a really... That was a scene mired in reality for me, I think.
And I think that's part of the thread of the film as well. Like, there are three narratives of a father and son throughout the film. You've got Iko not getting home to his son. In fact, he never sees his son in the film. Even the moment where he phones up his wife, she holds up the receiver, but you never pan around to the child. So his character never gets to kind of have that engagement. Then you've got obviously the relationship between Uko and Bangwan, his father. And then you've got obviously the side narrative of Picasso never seeing his son. There's like there's three different narratives about the father-son relationship, which is kind of really integral, but also like a little thread that's woven between the film, and which I actually really like.
So, should we go to scenes or should we go to characters first?
You choose, bro. You choose.
What would you like to do?
I'll go to scenes and then go to characters.
Okay. So, what scene would you like to touch on?
I touched on them briefly. Do you know what I mean? And you know, it's the car chase scene and the kitchen scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I said before, that prison scene was nuts.
Okay.
I remember watching that prison scene with you the first time I watched it, and I was like, because I remember saying to you as well, wait, let's stop it, that's real. And remember what I was saying? I just thought, wow, if a prison, if there was going to be a riot in a prison, that's exactly how it would take place.
That's how it would look like.
That's exactly how it would look like. People are, and one thing they show, and this is how I know that they're coming from a fighter's perspective, right? Is that, and I know fighters do it all the time, no matter even if they do it subconsciously.
Unconsciously.
But I think men do it a lot anyway, and that is, when you get into a situation or when you go somewhere, you kind of size up people around you.
Yeah, you look for the threat.
Yeah, just, even if you're not in you just see, okay,
situation,
if something was to kick off, he would be handy. I might have to watch for him.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can see it when they're coming to shank Iko.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's looking around. He's saying, okay, this one's passing to this one and that one. Do you know what I mean? And it's just that fighter's mentality. You're sizing up who. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was fantastic. The way that whole scene just evolved before it all kicked off.
You know what? I think that's something innate in some men and not others.
Yeah.
Because some people live in a bubble.
Yeah, and they think when they're at the fight.
But when I'm anywhere, I'm always analysing.
Yeah.
Now this is a real tangent, but you know, like the thing that happened in the park where people just got randomly stabbed.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm sitting in the park, you look at a place and you're walking towards me. I'd be like, "Now, who's that? Like, what?" You know, like you're not gonna run up on me. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even if you got me and I died, I'm not going to be oblivious. I'm aware you was coming, you know? And I think that's about some people. And it is mostly men because, you know, you might be with the missus and you're like, oh, you see that? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Like, they're just doing their thing. What? Like, he just fell over, trousers fell off, pissed on the floor. Like, you know, all sorts is happening over there. Right next to you.
They're just,
They got blinkers on. But you know, so as fighters, I'm sure that develops even more for you.
100%.
And you size people up.
100%.
But I've always sized up the threat. Who's the threat?
Yeah.
And that's not on a, like, I'm a paranoid. It's
No.
just
It's
know
really-
your surroundings
Yeah.
and know who's around
Real life.
you.
It's real
You
life.
know?
It really
But-
is.
Yeah, but
You know what I
he
mean?
delivers it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can see that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And people take it for granted that that's easy to put on camera.
Yeah, it's not.
You know? Because you can overdo it.
Exactly.
Overact it.
Yeah. But he was very subtle with
So
it, and
subtle.
that's exactly how we would do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought the little bits. Gareth is so good at catching those little bits. Do you know what I mean? Even the kitchen scene. So one thing I didn't clock, because I totally forgot, was him and the assassin met earlier when the assassin knocked him out. So then when they meet in the kitchen scene, because he must have thought I'm fighting a guy like everyone else, and then obviously he got knocked out, so he realizes now this guy's no joke.
Yeah.
So then when they're about to do their thing, you can see.
He's automatically like checking the feet, checking.
Right.
He sets it his entire time. His eyes, because he does a little kind of with his feet. He's like,
Yeah.
You up?
Yeah,
His
yeah,
eyes are focused. Like,
yeah.
I've already mushed you up once. It's gonna happen again.
Yeah, exactly.
And he goes like, right, what do I go with first?
Right. So, you see that because there was one bit he did that and he swept the feet, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought that you can see the apprehension in it.
Yeah.
That he knows that shit. I could potentially have a badder man than me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's not running through it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna kill everyone. It's like, whoa.
And that's what you were talking about, the stakes. Because
stakes.
you don't know if he's gonna get through that fight scene.
No.
You don't know if
don't
he's gonna
know.
come out the winner.
You feel like he don't know and he knows the script.
Yeah, do you know? Exactly.
You know one of those.
Do you know what I mean? And what both of them, what a testament to martial arts action films. Like those two, we salute you, man. Seriously, big time. That scene for me is, I personally, I don't think that scene can be beat in my lifetime.
for now.
You know what I mean? Let's see if it can be. But for me, that scene is just like, it's very reminiscent of what they tried to do at the time between Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee in that Coliseum. It's what they tried to do, but that fight scene was dead compared to that.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Very, very different times when you go back
But
to the
them
70s
times,
and
it was almost like a Western.
Yeah.
Like,
and
yeah.
It was,
Huge.
it was martial arts, but it was like a Western.
Yeah.
Like, and remember, Bruce Lee loved them. He loved them quick moves, them super quick moves.
Yeah.
This whole thing was a fight
and I
shouldn't
think-
last more than a few seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think this technique, what's it, Silat?
Yeah, Silat,
It pays homage to the camera.
It
Works with the camera well.
yeah.
Unlike Kung Fu and whatnot, that's all a bit, like I said, pretty, and it's all...
Well, it depends on what style.
I mean,
what
it's
style.
the way they film it, it's just a bit, it looks more choreographed. than this look.
I see what you're
I
saying.
think it depends. Like if you look at, I think the closest you can get to this from a Hong Kong standpoint is Donnie Yen's last run of
Yeah.
films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my favourite
Yeah.
fight scene still to this day, and I put it on a par with the kitchen scene, is Flashpoint. And that's Donnie Yen versus Colin Chow.
Yeah. I
That-
remember you said that to me.
That is an
remember?
8-minute fight. So
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
difference is the stakes are still there, the choreography's there, the way it's filmed is beautiful. The only difference is they are literally on whatever the hell it is, like endorphin uprisers throughout the entire fight. So they don't miss a beat and they don't get tired. They're throwing whip fast punches and kicks. But in this one,
And that's not their fault.
no,
That's
because it's what's
director.
expected.
Yeah.
Because the director said, right, you're tired now.
Yeah.
You know, why are you filming?
Yeah.
Show me the stakes. Show me your arm's hurting,
Yeah.
or he's just punched you in the ear. It's ringing a little bit. But that's what a great director is going to tell you. But they're just like fresh every minute. We're going to do this scene. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Go again. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
But the stakes. I've never seen a film with such high stakes.
Bro.
Like,
Even and you know what? Again, this is what I'm saying. Like even the baddest bad guy there, which for me is both Uko and Bejo, right? When the point when Uko shoots his dad, what does he do? He looks away.
Yeah,
he can't look, and he's not. He hasn't got to the point where because
he's cold. He's not cold yet.
Not that cold.
He's not.
Like he can. I think that's what turns him cold.
Yeah.
Because you've killed your dad. If you kill your dad,
You kill your dad or your mum, there's no going back.
Even
You're
the
dead
the
inside.
Japanese mafia guy said that as
Yeah,
well.
you're dead
He said,
inside.
what would he do if he's waiting to kill his dad? But you can still see there's feeling there. Even he still loves his dad.
Yeah.
But his ambition is more than his love for his dad,
Yeah.
and that's why he pulled the trigger. But he just couldn't look at him as he pulled it.
And his dad created that ambition.
Yeah.
So his dad can't even be like angry about it. I know he's dead.
No, you got a point
But he
though.
created that ambition.
100%. Because what does he say to him when he finds out that he orchestrated this whole thing? He says, "Everything I did for you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everything I did for you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm here now. I'm taking it. All right.
But do you know what? There's a part in there just before that when Eka calls Iko.
Yeah.
And says to him, "You better get here. I don't think I can stop him
beating the
shit out of his son." So he actually thinks, and remember, he's been with Eka at that point, had been with them for a while. He's thinking, shit, he's gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the way he does, he's like, yeah, bang.
Yeah. He's like, whoa.
You can tell he's pissed.
Yeah.
He's pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought the Japanese guys, they were played really well.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how the Yakuza, you know, are usually,
That's how they move.
That's how they move. Do you know what I mean?
They've got the authenticity out of it.
Yeah. And there's so many great scenes. Like the scene when they go to the porn place.
When she walks up with the strap on, she's like, "Where'd you get this guy from?" I was like, "What the?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Just going down and fuck his asshole." I was like, "What the hell is this?"
And then that guy played it. The one, he's probably he played a drug addict, obviously, who's into porn. But he played that spot on. Because remember, he throws the money. He says that, yeah. And he's like, huh? Anything else? Like, you know. And then the way when he's fighting and he tries to get us away and he jumps on the table and he runs and he just jumps through the. That's a crackhead move, bro.
I always had the bit where he pulls out the automatic and just fires it like this.
Yeah.
I love that moment.
But the way he just jumped through the glass, it's like that's a crackhead move.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not feeling that for now. But,
you know, you're not even thinking about the pain. You just want to get out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I saw in that scene when Uko gets hold of him and starts beating the shit out of him, that it could almost go the other way. He's starting to get into the lifestyle. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He has that thin line.
Yeah,
and looks at him, it's like,
he slaps the guy to get the bat off of him, innit? And that's not Iko.
No, because in the
Do you know what I
first
mean?
one, when he goes diving through the balcony and he comes back through and he lands in what is clearly two people that are stoned off their face in an apartment, he walks through and he's not like trashing them. He's like walking from, I'll get your house.
Yeah.
And even when he gets taken in by the guy and the wife, like he's still very respectful. But this one, he's like, I get my way.
Slapping him up, took the thing off of him. You can see he's starting to get into it.
I think that's more the frustration of he just wants to be out of it.
It's probably that as well.
But there is that. But you know, all right, it's a film, but if you've killed that many people, now remember this takes place 2 hours after. We don't know what his history in the police has been, but even this scene alone, you killed that many people, you got demons.
Well, that's 5 years enough because he's been in prison for 5 years before that happens.
Oh shit! Yeah,
That's
right. So remember, it's 2 hours with the beginning of the film, but then by the time it gets to that point, he's 5 years. You've been in prison. That's even worse.
That's what I'm saying.
It's even worse. So what's he seen in them 5 years?
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
you've been in prison with demons.
Yeah.
And you know them Indonesian jails. Yeah.
That's not a slight on you guys.
No. Hotels over here.
Yeah.
You can order a TV and protein.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I suggest any of you guys going to Indonesia from you know abroad, behave yourselves.
Yeah, behave yourself. But so bro,
it's bro.
It's nuts.
Nuts. So what other scene can I? So even see, there's so many great. So even before the kitchen scene, you got the fight scene with Hammer Girl and baseball bat guy. That is sick.
Yeah,
that is sick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the way baseball bat guy reacts when he puts the claw hammer to her throat and rips it. He's like, oh, and he starts going nuts with the bat. And you can see he really cares for her. Like that. And even though it's shown through a different way, the love you can see is there. Like it's crazy how he's managed to show so many different emotions in a bloody fight scene, in a gory fight scene. Because you see how he ends him, he sticks the bat in his face.
And when you got to remember, I don't know their background.
And the thing is, you don't need to as well because he established it so well.
No, but what I'm saying is the background of the actual actors. I don't know their background.
Right, because they're not well known.
But the way they sell emotion, I'd think that they've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
Other than martial arts.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can be a black belt, but that don't mean you can deliver that.
No.
And plenty of martial artists have showed that as well.
Emotionally, physically, mentally, deliver the stakes, etc.
No, you have to be. Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons going back. And you know about this. It's one of the reasons why when they did Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, they wanted an actor who they could train as a martial artist as opposed to a martial artist who they can train as an actor because they knew those little nuances and stuff like that. A martial artist with no acting training or very little acting training is not going to be able to deliver.
What was his name again?
Jason Scott Lee.
Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, Jason
Now, you know
Scott Lee.
what? He was brilliant.
He's brilliant.
The film,
I still love the film.
No, the film...
I like the film, but
it's not.
It's lacking.
It's not.
It's lacking. It's lacking, but he done his thing. As an actor, he did everything he could. I
100%.
believed him.
100%.
I believed him.
I watched that movie at 8, and at 8, I hadn't seen a Bruce Lee movie yet. I thought, being a young lad, was Bruce Lee. It's on my IMDb. I actually thought the first time I watched the Dragon Bruce Lee, so I thought, is that Bruce Lee? And it wasn't until about 2 years later I started going back and watch Fish to Fish. Oh, that's Bruce Lee.
That's Bruce Lee. Jason Scott Lee, where are you?
Yeah, bruv.
Where is he?
He's done a couple of he did that comedy. What's it called? Balls of Fury.
Yeah.
He did that stupid comedy.
He
did
did
a small part.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2. He was the main villain.
I didn't even know
I never knew there was a 2.
because I didn't like the first one too.
No.
I wasn't.
That tiptoeing on leaves some.
Yeah, it's not for me. Not for me.
Shang-Chi does it well, but
Shang-Chi does it.
Yeah.
Just
the right. But this film, The Raid 2, is like everyone in there has had a lot of they must have had acting training because the way they were able to I mean, I even like the fact I like the fact that he made Bejo handicapped. I like that he made it because everyone around him is friggin' capable. You got Hammer Girl, you got Baseball Bat Guy, and then you got the Assassin. All seriously capable people, and the person that they work for can't even walk properly. That you know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. Like, bar the martial artists in the film, all the other characters are like official trained actors have had a longevity in cinema, and Japanese cinema as well. Like the guy that plays Gato's right hand man who sat there on the couch at the end, he's like,
Yeah.
He's actually the lead in the film called Killers, which stars Eko as well. Both
I heard about that. Yeah.
And he's done a lot of films in Japan. The guy that plays Gato, he's been around for years.
I've seen his. I remember his face. As soon as I saw him, I just couldn't remember what he's been in.
So their season.
Yeah.
The only ones that are not seasoned is the main stars, which is why I think Sesep's introduction in this film is beautiful. The moment he rolls up and his introduction is like, Yang comes out, you've just seen him mash up a whole club full of guys. He's coming out, he's looking worse for the wear, and he turns around and he looks frightened before you see who he's with. He looks up, he's like, oh shit, because he knows who's about to face. And Sessa just like,
innit.
He's like, all right, let me go and finish this guy off. And
that's why I put him smiling.
It's like a passing the torch.
That's the perfect analogy of that.
Because it's supposed to be his character.
Yeah.
Originally, Yang was supposed to play that character. Now Sesep's like, okay, I'm taking it, but I'm going to take you out in the right way.
Yeah.
And when he breaks out the karambit and he stabs him with it, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. The karambit. He's a. Oh, but speaking of which, I thought it would. It's that you see. This is what I like about certain films. We spoke about it with Blade in the first scene about establishing power.
Yeah.
And you're gonna realize this with this scene. So you know the scene where Picasso gets an order from Bangun to go and assassinate that guy. And he kills off all his friends, beat up all his friends. In fact, not kill, might have killed him, but
he kills
the guy. Now, you know he's holding a machete in one hand. Do you realise he does not use that machete once when he's beating up all the guys?
No.
He does not use it.
Only on the last guy on purpose to
leave
a message.
The guy that he's supposed to kill. Now, imagine that. How many guys were there? 10? You know what I mean?
You think you'd wave that machete at least once or twice?
Bro, if I see a guy holding a machete and he's beating up a bunch of people and he hasn't used that machete, I am running for the hills. I am running for the hills.
You know, that just brings me to that age-old point. You know, like, we're working for someone, we're henchmen, 10 men have been taken out, and then there's us. You know, in real life, you'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Here's my phone, here's my keys to my car.
Here's my car keys. I'd actually run.
I would.
I'd actually run.
Look, you see a man with a machete, he's just mash up 10 people. He's not used the machete. He's just holding it like it's like a torch. I'm like, nah, I don't want no part of this. I'm done. And he only uses it to actually kill the guy he's meant to kill, innit?
And I love that camera scene, literally the knife pulls out.
And
you see his eye through the hole and then through the actual body as well.
That establishes him as a bad man.
But then you get the polar opposite the moment he meets his wife, he's just like, all
you can see him, he's just like that, isn't it? It's just like, that really made me hate her. I hated that character. I'm going to be honest. I hated that character.
Done her job.
No, 100%.
She really did.
100%.
Yeah,
but
you couldn't like her.
Yeah, no. She wasn't likable at all. It wasn't likable at all. I thought the guy that played Uko, the son, was really well cast. I thought he was really well cast, and I think the guy, as I said earlier, who played Eckhart, he was really well cast.
Definitely.
He played that down to a T.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? He played that down to a T. I thought he in the beginning, when he's talking about we come from the same place, even I didn't get it when we first watched it.
But
I was like...
He takes him to the room. He's like, you and me, we're not too different. We come from the same place.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But you don't get it. And then it's only when everything evolves and then you're like, shit.
Then it makes sense.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, man, that film is a revelation. Man.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot to beat it.
Yes.
I don't know if it's gonna happen for now.
Yeah,
but in that genre.
Yeah. So we've gone through. We've pretty much gone through the characters, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
We've gone through all the scenes.
Just as a tidbit for Sesep, as another little known fact. The thing I love when I found out about his character, I found out about him as an actor. This was obviously his first ever acting role. He's a primary school teacher. He teaches elementary school. His son didn't want him to play the villain in this because he's like, Dad, you're a nice guy. You teach primary children.
But you can tell they're all nice guys. Anyway, you and I both know the majority of and you've met a lot, so you know the majority of martial artists and capable fighters are nice, the nicest people.
Yeah.
Humble.
Yeah.
Any
person that I've seen that could actually do me quickly.
Yeah.
Has never been mean to me.
Right. Because learning to be like that, you have to learn discipline.
Yeah.
You have to.
Or you will kill someone.
Yeah.
You will kill someone.
Or trust me, the school that I went to, believe me, the instructors will end up mashing you up.
Yeah.
Because they train the old way. And I know he knows what I'm talking about. They train the old way. I've seen, just to go on a quick tangent, my master in Taekwondo when I was 11 years old, some guy who did Kung Fu came in and he started sparring with some of the guys and he was proper mashing them up. So the instructors then joined the sparring line.
Okay.
When the instructors do that in my school, someone's in trouble.
Okay.
So the instructor says, cool, I would like to spar with you. He gave him one spin kick and...
You heard the clap as well.
Bro,
is it one of them? You heard the clap?
Yeah, you heard the clap, and you thought his neck was gonna do a 360.
Yeah, like a
and he started crying, and he was like, "Why did you hit me?" He said, "But you came here for hard sparring. I'm just giving you what you wanted." You know,
that's what you gave everyone else,
right? Yeah, and then he ran out of the class, bro.
And never came back.
Bro, of course not. Well, bro, you can't play them games in proper martial arts school.
You see, if he came back, I'd have rated him.
The only way, listen,
because he would have had to humble.
100%. Otherwise, he would have got even more of a beating. You know what I mean?
But he would have learned something.
Yeah, but yeah, that was just going off at a tangent. But for me, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The Raid 2, 10 out of 10. Mr. Gareth Evans, please make a third. I know you don't want to make a third. I know you think the franchise. Please, I beg you, make a third. Damien, what would you rate this film?
It's a solid 10 out of 10. I didn't bring it today. I did plan to pack it, but I haven't bought a movie physically since 2014. I've never bought a collectible movie because I've never been that way inclined ever. When this came out, I went online and I found the first ever metal box version of this movie and I paid £20 for it. I've never paid more than £5 for a film. And it's the last one I ever bought, and yeah, it sits with pride on my martial arts.
And as I showed you guys before, and I could get it, do you want me to get it again?
No.
Okay. But my Raid and Raid 2 box set that Damien bought for me, that's front and centre right there, boy.
If you don't believe him, check out the Raid 1 review and then you will see it. Yeah.
Leon, we've introduced you to the Raid and now the Raid 2. How do you rate this film?
Well, 10 out of 10. This film has changed the game for me. I think I'm going to be disappointed with many future Hollywood endeavors because of this film.
Join the club.
Yeah, so, I'm used to Rambo and stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, make a third. Train me for 6 months, bring me in.
Bro,
it'd be nice.
Put us all in. Listen.
Yeah.
I've still got my email from 2009, Gareth. I know it's still sitting there after Morantau. After 2009, I saw Morantau. I emailed, like, Gareth, I just watched Morantau. Brilliant movie. Whatever you're doing next, I'm over here from the UK. I ain't get a reply, but it's okay.
Hey, it worked for Joe Taslim. Joe Taslim messaged him on Facebook and got in the Raid.
There you go.
Yeah. So, hey, but come on, Gareth, man. Come on, Gareth. Come on, man.
The gangs of London, man. Where were we?
Man.
Where were we?
Hashtag Gareth. Gym Rat Pack.
Cheeseburgers, man.
Yeah, cheeseburgers, man. I did it for free.
Please,
pay the flight.
man.
I'll take a punch in the face so you can pay me. It's cool.
Right. Yeah. We're going to wrap this up, but we big up all you Indonesian supporters. Thank you for suggesting we review this film.
Yeah.
And thank you for having fantastic actors and martial artists like Iko and the gang. We will be reviewing probably...
What's the one on Netflix?
When the night comes for us.
When the night comes for us.
That's going to be the next one. We're doing this for you guys because you guys support us so well. We were going to do Blade 2 next. So we've now done the Raid 2, and now we're going to do The Night Comes For Us because of you guys. Thank you and big up, man.
Well, I'm doing it for me as well. Because you lot are showing me something, a life I never knew.
Yeah.
So, here we are.
Yeah, man. So thank you so much for supporting and tuning to our next Back in Time review.
Please like, share, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel.
Yeah.
And obviously we want to do some subtitles and bits and bobs. So hit a like, subscribe. Come on, let's go.
Join the
Please
party.
feel free to jump in conversations on the chat. If there's known facts about the movie we don't know, please drop them in there. Let us know what you thought of the film.
Is one of the actors your neighbour? Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know.
Yeah,
we
let
can
us know.
hit them up, you know what I mean?
When you're one of the guys getting your head kicked off in the garage scene, let us know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's that. That's it from us. So from me, Larry Olubamuwal, and from
Damien Ashley
and
Liam Rock.
we will see you later.
Adios.
Nice.